Hi, I'm Paul Gross. I am the president and CEO of the CP Research Network. Terry.
I'm Terry Sachs. I'm a data manager at Pitt who is the RedCap side, but it also helps out with the IT. I'll be helping out with Mike and Jeff with the IT side as well.
Okay, Mike.
Hi, I'm Michael Kanai, and I'm the Associate Director of System Development here at the DCC. I develop software to complete transfers of data and collect data as well.
Thanks. Jeff.
Hi, I'm the Director of Systems Development at the DCC. Been involved in all areas of IT for about 30 years at the DCC. So we'll be talking about a possible system that we would like to use for transfer a little bit later. But
Great. Let's see, going down the list, Dan Cook.
Hi, I'm at PCH. It says data integration. That's it. We do anything data related to our clinical systems, financial systems, that kind of stuff, and then extracts, Power BI, analytics, all that kind of deal.
Great. Thanks. See, my list is moving around. Andy, thanks for joining us. Can you just introduce yourself, say where you're from?
Hi, I'm Andy Richardson. I'm research data manager here at Rady Children's Hospital in San Diego.
Great, thanks. Brian.
Hi, I'm a data analyst and data manager here at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio.
Thank you. Josh.
Hey, I'm Josh. I'm the research informatics analyst here at Children's Hospital of Colorado.
Great. Khalid. Khalid, can you you're unmuted, so but we don't hear you. All right, Melody, we'll come back to Khalid.
Kitzmiller. I'm at Nationwide Children's Hospital in Columbus, Ohio, and I'm the ETL developer.
Thanks. Rishi.
Hey everyone, sorry, I had some issues with audio. Are we just going around introducing?
Yes, we are.
Ourselves? Sure. Rishi Muchala, Director of Analytics here at Nemours.
Great. And then Ron, and then we'll see if we've got audio on Colin. Go ahead, Ron.
Ron Greider, University of Virginia. I support research, data analytics.
Great. And Colin, do you have is your audio working now? Apparently not. Rishi, you want to introduce Khalid?
Sure. Khalid's on my team. He's one of our ETL developers for our data warehouse.
Great, thanks. All right, thanks everybody. I'm gonna share some quick slides just to give people context. So let me do that. I am not seeing my slides. Can you guys tell me? No, that's not the one I want to show. Hold on one second. Window. Are people seeing CP Research Network data transfer? People seeing slides that say data transfer?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So, sorry. So we did introductions. I want to talk a little bit about the change, what the change in relationship between Utah and Pitt means structurally. I think that while this is not, the first part is not necessarily your area, I do know that you end up sort of checking on the sort of the regulations around this. So I'll spend a couple minutes on that, and then just an update as to where we are with the DCC getting ready, and then turn it over to the DCC staff to sort of have the discussion about data transfer. So in the original state of the work that we've been doing together, CPRN before 2021 was not actually an entity. We were not actually a business. We functioned by me having an adjunct appointment at the University of Utah. And there was a place that money flowed into the University of Utah to pay for their data coordinating services. And what was executed between the University of Utah and the sites was a business associates agreement that really served the role of both a BAA and a data use agreement. So Utah played the role of shaping the data for research as a BAA. And then they also played the role of a research partner for studies. And then we had a very light sort of memorandum of understanding that was signed between me as the CPRN box, and we had a set of and the sites, and then a set of standard operating procedures for how we ran. So that's how we ran for our first 6+ years. What we have been moving to over the course of 2021 is we have this, you'll see PDUA, Participation and Data Use Agreement, which has an embedded BAA. So we did a merger with a 501c3 nonprofit. So we are now an entity, and we now have renegotiated or in the process of renegotiating the agreement from, rather than being a BAA signed with the University of Utah, it is this PDUA, which includes a business associates agreement that's negotiated with the sites. And so what it basically is setting up is what are the details of participation and what is the data use agreement between CPRN and the sites. And then on the back end, we have a data use agreement and a statement of work with the University of Pittsburgh to perform very similar services to what the University of Utah was performing. But one key thing is that the data, not unlike before, flows directly from US sites to the University of Pittsburgh as our contractor, so to speak, that's implementing this. And the reason why that's an important distinction is we rely on all of University of Pittsburgh's safeguards to make sure that your sites are comfortable with security. And so when there's a security audit form that needs to get filled out, that's not being done by CPRN, that's being done by Pitt. Not all of the sites require that, but so the agreement is with us, but the data passes through to Pitt. Let me stop there because I know that some of you in sort of arranging the transfer sort of had to validate this because you know, just as part of your job, you're making sure the boxes are checked to make sure you're not giving data away to people that shouldn't be receiving it. Any questions about that change in relationship? Okay, and again, I'm going to talk a little bit about the state of those PDUAs being signed in a moment. But so here's where we are with the DCC. So we could not transfer all of the data from the University of Utah to Pitt because not all of the sites finished signing their PDUAs with CPRN. So that was a necessary piece for us to transfer the data. So the current state is Pitt is working on getting an IRB approval for their role as the host of the clinical registry. That's just been going back and forth quite a bit, and we have landed on a reliance agreement with Nationwide as a way to do that. And so that is underway. Hopefully that will be approved soon. But these 3 check boxes are the critical path, and all 3 need to be checked for us to get back to sort of data entry or data transmission. The second is your site needs to do an IRB amendment. Nationwide has about 6 sites relying on it. They have completed that amendment, and I'll talk about the details of this. But some of you have this underway at your site, and I'm working with your site investigator to get that done. And then, of course, we need to get in place new data transmission protocols, which we'll be discussing shortly. And then once those 3 boxes are checked, we can get to data entry, or for the REDCap sites, which are not on the call, and data extraction and transfer for all of you. So IRBs are still pending. You know, as I said, we're going to do a reliance agreement, and then this is a slide from yesterday's meeting. So we're now at today for the data transfer meeting, and I'll be handing over in a moment to Jeff to talk about the potential mechanisms of data transfer. Just to give you an idea so you can see where your site lands on this busy chart. Basically, if the site name is green, that means your site is ready to go pending that IRB approval at Pitt for us to start doing data transfers again. If it is yellow, it means there is likely just the IRB amendment that is outstanding. And if it's red, so for example, Ron, you see University of Virginia is red, and that's because the PDUA is not signed, as well as the fact that the IRB is submitted, but we haven't gotten back an answer yet. So most cases where it is red, it's because the PDUA is not signed. The reason why it's not signed in most cases is because it's being driven first by a busy clinician that's the site investigator at your site. They have to find the right contracts person. This is not where they spend their time usually. Once they get the contracts people involved, the contracts people want to push back on some number of areas of the PDUA agreement. So there's a back and forth. So it just takes a while to get through these in general. And there is a fee associated with joining the network. And almost all of the sites are on board with that. We've only had 2 sites decline that, and those were not sites that were transferring data into the registry anyway. So any questions about the status of your site or this process from a sort of legal data flow perspective? All righty.
Hey, Paul.
Yes.
Paul, I had a quick question. So this is Josh Jones, Colorado. Sarah had wanted me to make sure. So we're good with the agreements in place. We don't need any new ones. The only thing that we need is to have that IRB amendment.
Correct.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Yeah, your team, your site PI has been very, Joyce has been very engaged, and things have been moving along quite well. So, okay. Any other questions on that? All righty. I turn it over to you, Jeff, to take it from here.
Sounds good. I'm going to share a screen. I've prepared a couple slides just to kind of give you a picture of what we're proposing to do. But before I start into this, I just wanted to let you know, since this is kind of an introduction to the new DCC, I've provided a link here to our website. So after this call, if you'd like a little more information on our approach and what we've done, you could certainly follow that link. Our approach to systems ever since we started our organization is we've always been interested in automation. We don't like to have people do any more busy work than they need to do to accomplish a task. We like our solutions and our data transfer solutions to be very cost effective. We don't want to pay for a larger service if we really don't need that, when all we're doing is moving data from point A to point B. And really lastly, a third item that we like to build into our systems, they should be just easy to use. So with that said, I'll go ahead and start with a picture of what we're proposing. Over the years, we've developed many software applications. Many of them are related to data transfer. And what we're proposing to use in this case is CloudStream. And that is a proprietary application. We employ this when we believe that we're going to be transferring small to medium load data payloads, which I think is where we're at with CPRN. So if you look at this, we want to gain approval to install a small application on what we could call a gateway computer at each of your sites. Pretty much how it would work is when you are ready to transfer data, you would copy it to a specific folder on this gateway computer, one of your computers at your site. You'd copy it to a specific folder, you'd click the CloudStream icon, and it would handle everything. It would handle the authentication, the data encryption, and negotiating with a server on our DMZ to transfer the data to our network. Just to add a little bit more, we initially are going to transfer it to a DMZ, an open server, but we're also going to use the service version of our CloudStream software that will watch the kind of the CPRN Dropbox and automatically push that data to our more secure private network, where we will work with it and load it into the Oracle database and whatnot. So the CloudStream version on your end, it will not be running as a service. It'll just be an application waiting to be started and initiated on your network. So at no time are we reaching in, we're not going to request access into your network. The application will be installed from a website. It's a very small application. It's secure. Let me show you a little bit, tell you a little bit more about it here. As I said, it's a proprietary application. We've been using it on multiple projects. It's safe, it's secure. We use it to transfer actigraphy, well, sleep and active, you know, kind of active wear data on other projects. And so it's worked out very well. It's written in the Microsoft.NET framework using C#, so it's only a Windows application. It is software that is licensed. There won't be a user license agreement that needs to be signed, but we handle the licensing. So once, you know, if we get approval to install this application on your network on a single computer, it cannot be copied to another computer, and it won't run if that's attempted. So we track all that. Each site will have its own unique identifiers or credentials to operate it. You won't have to type in any credentials. That's all built into a specific executable or version for your site. When we install CloudStream and we begin to test it, from your IT, we're going to want to know what IP addresses we should be expecting on our network when it's used, because we will terminate the communication if your unique version is coming in from another network. So we'll just stop it. That's part of the security. If either an unlicensed version is attempted to be used, or it comes into us from an unregistered network, we have automated email alerts that come to us and alert our IT staff that, you know, something's not right. I mentioned that we will be asking each site to identify what we'll call a gateway computer. I believe that some of you used FTP from a computer at your sites previously, but we'd like to install this application. It'll install in, you know, for anyone that's familiar with the details, it'll install in the C program files area on that computer. The default location for where we ask that the data be copied will be in a folder called C CloudStream/data. Once data has been successfully transferred, that data will be transferred to the archive so that's not transferred again. So as part of that automation and email notification will be transferred to designated people at your site, most likely the person using CloudStream, so that you get a receipt that the transfer was successful. And it's also your cue if you'd like to remove the data from the archive. So that, in a nutshell, is how it works. This is an example of the automated email alerts that go out. This is an example of if a license, this is for another application, but it's the alert you'll see is very similar. When someone attempted to use our application again. And when does this typically happen? It's when a new build or a new image is placed on someone's computer and they try to copy our application to that new computer. We need to be involved in that. It's all part of the security. So that is just a quick introduction. And I'll answer any questions you might have at this point. But again, we'd like to replace the FTP transfer with our CloudStream software, to summarize. Does anyone believe they might have an issue getting a small application installed on your network, such as this?
We have, this is Melody at Nationwide Children's. We can do that, but we have a protocol we have to follow to get the application approved by the director, the IS director. So I don't know what all the questions are. I should remember, but there'll be a list of questions that I might have to ping somebody for.
That's great. We expect that. We do the same thing if someone wants to install software on our network in reverse. So we'll be prepared for that and to be able to answer those questions quickly.
I anticipate very similar kind of reaction from our IT department here at UVA.
Yeah, no one ever really likes to install software that they don't have to. So any questions or any initial discussion can come straight to me and CC Paul and Mike, of course. And we can start those discussions. I mean, if you'd like a copy of these slides, you could email me as well, or Mike, and we'll get those to you.
Yeah, I would just say if you could, just because they've got valuable details, if you can send them out, and I'll also put them on Teams, that would be great. I'll send my slides along as well, just for clarification. I do have one semi-related question, and maybe Rishi and Khalid can address this. So Jeff and Mike, as you know, there's a validation tool. There has been some challenge, and I can't remember what the challenge is. I do believe it's a C# application, but I know as an example, Nemours was not able to run that on their system. I think that was a certificate signing issue where I think Utah, for some reason, was not able to get it signed. I don't know if that's something, Rishi or
Yeah, ours for the validation tool, it was a Java licensing issue that we ran into on our side. So with this being a C# app, I don't see that same issue coming into play.
Yeah.
But like others said, we do have our InfoSec team that'll, run their typical evaluation of any software we install.
Great, thank you. Well, if people don't have any questions, we don't need to burn any additional time. I will put these put the slides on Teams. I'll send them out as well, just so people have them. And we can go from there. There is Jeff and Mike, there is a distribution list that I think I've added you to. I use Google Groups to do distribution lists. So everybody that is a bioinformaticist is on that list. And we can use that as just a convenient way to mail to people. So I'll check. I'll send you mail about that just so you're aware of it.
Okay.
Okay. Any additional questions? All righty, short and sweet. Thank you all for attending. I appreciate it. I'll post a recording of it too, just in case you need any additional details in that format, and we'll go from there. Thanks, everybody.
Thank you.
Bye.